What is up, everybody? How you guys doing? You guys can all hear me all right, correctly? Correct? So, Donald Trump is being interviewed by Elon Musk. Hold up, let me make sure my audio is correct. Boom, boom. Cool. Sweet. So yeah, Donald Trump is being interviewed by Elon Musk any minute now, but I do want to point out Twitter is having a lot of technical difficulties. This happened during the DeSantis interview. Anyone remember when DeSantis was announcing his campaign or doing some interview on X and X completely malfunctioned? It's doing the same thing. Like, I can't join the Elon Musk. Let me see if it works on my phone. Trump's going to be late? I wouldn't doubt it. Oh yeah, my phone, it says this space is not available. What is going on? Twitter is such a... cluster. Someone said, I hope they're getting hacked. Anyone else able to join? Either way, though, how's everybody doing? I did want to start off with this because, I mean, I always love talking about this. This is the natural starting point when talking about Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Also, like, my whole Twitter feed is just broken right now. Why is Twitter so broken? But yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be cringe, but it's going to be fun to debunk them in real time. Oh, now he's no longer live. Did they break it? It's not working. But, oh. So let's go back to when Elon Musk visited the White House and then Donald Trump tweeted out, oh, someone in chat said unable to join. So it's not just me. You guys can't join either, right? It's blacked out. So, Donald Trump tweeted out, or truthed out, or whatever, when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects. Oops. Whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. And keep in mind, the other day, Donald Trump said Elon Musk endorsed him full-throatedly. A full-throated endorsement. Okay, so a lot of people in chat are saying it's not working. For a second, I was like, man, there's no way I went live and it's not going to work. But it's not working for anyone, which is, it's good because that means, like, that would be so funny if everybody begins to get hyped up for this and then Twitter completely fails again. Anyone placing money on Twitter failing tonight? What's the over-under? He said full-throated. Oh no, I did this poll wrong. I just put no. But that's funny. That's a funny backstory. And then, so see, Donald J. Trump did something and it says space is not available. But then Elon Musk did drop to his knees and beg, essentially. He is now lobbying in Donald Trump's ear and saying, like, hey, if I give you money, you better be good on EVs. And Donald Trump admitted. But yeah, train wreck, absolute train wreck. You know, I was going to make a video on this whole space, but if it's just going to be this much of a train wreck, it's not possible. Let me find this other clip of a... It's like the two worst people you know in one room. It's literally what it feels like. What's up, everyone? What's up, Machine Will? How you doing?
People. Many people have courage and many people don't. He does have courage. And Elon endorsed me, and he asked me whether or not I'd do a show on Monday, and I think it's going to be Monday night. And I believe he's the host of the show, so it'll be very interesting. A lot of people are talking about it. I look forward to it. That'll be done on Monday night. Yeah, the Elon Musk. So, yeah, sure. So Elon called me. As you know, he endorsed me full-throated. Great endorsement. I respect Elon.
Full-throated. Yikes. Jesus Christ, man. Still nothing. I can't join the live stream. Already failed, already failed. Everyone's saying, okay, so if it's not working for anyone else, that makes me feel a little bit better. A little bit better. Or what about this clip where Donald Trump says that he had no choice but to endorse Elon Musk? Yeah, pause. Literally pause. Wait, where did this tweet just go? This tweet. That's what I was looking for.
And I'm for electric.
And notice the wording he uses. He uses very particular wording. He says, I had no choice but to endorse him.
And I'm for electric cars. I have to be, because Elon endorsed me very strongly.
I have to be.
So I have no choice.
I have no choice, he says. Let me play that one more time.
And I'm for electric cars. I have to be, because Elon endorsed me very strongly, Elon. So I have no choice. But he knows. No, I am for him. I'm for.
Something about this. Something about... See, like, this is what's happening. It says Donald J. Trump, space is not available. Elon Musk, and every time I refresh the page, I don't... Oh, that's... This just turned into a mess. This is what I was looking for. What in the hell? Twitter is so terrible. This is what happens. See, this is what happens when you cut the workforce of Twitter by like, what, 50, 60%. And this is their grand idea to come into power in the government, Republicans, and slash the bureaucracy, the federal workforce by what, 60, 70%. This is how everything would work. Terribly. Absolutely terribly. Donald Trump did make a grand return to Twitter today. Also, really quickly, this has been blowing my mind lately. I guess I'll take this opportunity to talk about something. Donald Trump, Truth, getting ready for a big chat. Thank you, Sabrina. Why would Trump do an interview on Twitter? It's Truth Social, his competitor. That's what, yeah. See, there's a theory that if Donald Trump starts tweeting again, that Truth Social will lose value in the stock market because, yeah, it'll be devalued. Donald Trump is the only person who makes Truth valuable, which is weird to say because nothing about him is valuable. But objectively, Truth is only there because of Donald Trump. So it's just like, but he's been tweeting out some really wildly psychotic stuff about, you guys have probably already seen this, but he's been talking about VP Harris's crowds being all AI generated, and it's like genuinely some next level stuff. When is the interview? The interview was supposed to be 7 minutes ago. It was supposed to have started, but Elon Musk's Twitter is completely, it's not even called Twitter. There's nothing, it's not working. I'm so confused. Try on a mobile device? Oh, it's working on mobile? No, I just got a text from my grandpa that said it seems like it's going well, sarcastically, and it says this space is not available. You literally can't join. Oh, wait. Wait, there's people in it, but then it says I can't join. X not working, X not working. Wow. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Donald Trump's psychotic Truth Social posts. Absolutely psychotic posts. Like, I don't use that word lightly. So he posts a picture of VP Harris's crowd, and he says, look, we caught her with a fake crowd. There was nobody there. He said, has anybody noticed that Kamala cheated at the airport? There was nobody at the plane. She AI'd it and showed a massive crowd of so-called followers. This is some next level stuff. This is like next level. I hate to use the word, but this is like schizophrenia right here. Genuinely, Donald Trump thinks, and then he's posting QAnon pictures of like circling and question marks. This is wild to me. This is a new level. And there are theories from George Conway that if you poke somebody like this, I mean, psychologists originated it, but George Conway is the one who's actually been putting it into play lately, that if you poke a narcissist like this, if you poke somebody like this, they will inevitably begin to snap and lose their mind. And I think we're seeing that with Donald Trump in real time, because we've seen a lot of unhinged stuff from Donald Trump, but nothing near him calling an entire crowd AI generated. For anybody just joining, we're waiting for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It was supposed to start 9-10 minutes ago, but there's nothing. There's nothing happening when I open Elon Musk's Twitter. It might be working for some people. Anybody in chat, type yes or no if you were on Twitter and it's working for you. Oh, it's working now? Is it working for you guys? Maybe I just didn't get in fast enough. You've got it up. Yeah, oh yeah, it's working? Let me see if I can find it on this other screen. No, no, I'm getting a lot of no's, a lot of yeses. It seems like it's letting some people in.
For the desired amount to the specified.
No, fake. Oh. This whole thing is broken. What a terrible, shitty website. What a terrible, awful website. This is what happens when you slash. Let's see if I can find somebody streaming it. Everyone's just saying technical difficulties.
It's a pirate. X is still a pirate ship, okay?
Yeah. It's a scam live stream, an absolute scam. This may be the funniest possible scenario. Okay, nobody has it. Didn't this happen with DeSantis like a year ago? They had a year to fix this. Around the Iowa State Fair, DeSantis did a similar thing, and it didn't work. I mean, that is hilarious. Donald Trump is meanwhile having a meltdown. You know this is going to make him even more mad. You know he's on the verge of just flipping out.
Boy of all. So I don't like where the
Yeah, it's not working for anyone. This is wild. The right literally can't do anything right. Twitter isn't even working right now. An absolute crash. Do you think this is payback? Is this like payback for the post from Donald Trump? Trump, Elon, drop to your knees. What in the hell? That is not what I looked up. Is this payback for this? Elon's like, I'm gonna get this dude back. Oh, it's on now, but it's just elevator music. Yo, I love blue hearts, but not this many blue hearts. Chill. Oh, it's working? Let's check this. I know Donald Trump is throwing a bitch fit, like a tantrum in the back. Well, this is incredibly disappointing. Just elevator music. Once we get it up, we'll be fact-checking every single second. Which is kind of the cool part about alternative media. People like us, we have all the free time in the world to fact-check, research every single thing Elon Musk and Donald Trump say. Where CNN, so I don't know why, sometimes it feels like they're on a time limit. They just skip over things Trump says. Oh my lord, give me a break. You couldn't write this. Someone said, Big Gov must be preventing people from watching Elon interview Trump. You guys think that this dude thinks that Elon Musk and Donald Trump have something so insightful to say that the government is trying to suppress them. Joe Biden is personally making sure that this Twitter space cannot be up and running because Elon and Trump just have such wisdom. I heard Trump was going to drop the cure to cancer and the government just wanted to, what? This has to be a bot. The tag is at DonTrump120. This person has to be a bot. But at least they're having the same experience as us. Someone said check Elon's Twitter now. Let's check. Yeah, this is disappointing. This is funny. Who do you think's throwing a bigger bitch fit? Donald Trump or Elon? Let me know in the chat. I say Donald Trump because he just can't. There's probably ketchup on all four walls. It's on the Tesla website. Just Tesla.com, maybe? There's no shot it's just on the Tesla website. This is a mess. Elon Musk, fix your damn website, homie. God damn. What the hell? Space is not available. Tesla YouTube? Thank you, homie. That's why I love you guys in chat. Any minute now. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm failing you, but it's more Elon Musk's fault, to be honest. No, these are all fake. A lot of these are fake Tesla things. Well, we can watch Donald Trump's psychotic meltdown on Truth Social while we're waiting. Yeah, the Tesla, it's fake. It's so fake. Twitter crashed completely. Donald Trump is... This is wild, though. Let me just read this in its entirety. This is some stuff that is like... That literally belongs... I don't know. I can't tell if it's insensitive to say this, but Donald Trump genuinely belongs in some sort of institution. Like, this is really far from normal human behavior, or like the average human. Has anybody noticed that Kamala cheated at the airport? There was, like, what is it? Cheated at the airport? There was nobody at the plane, and she AI'd it and showed us a massive crowd of so-called followers. So-called followers. What? But they didn't exist. You cannot tell me that this is not some sort of mental... So-called followers, but they didn't exist. And why does he put AI'd in quotes? We're gonna drive ourselves crazy trying to dissect Donald Trump's words. Someone said Adam equals cringe. There is no shot that I am more cringe than Elon Musk fondling Donald Trump's, you know what, on a live stream in front of 100,000 people after Donald Trump told Elon Musk, like, drop to your knees and beg, basically. I could have said, drop to your knees and beg. There is nothing more cringe than that. I'll refresh for you guys. Let's see. Oh, no. It, like, lets me join for 1 second. Let me try to find it on another... Trump Elon interview. I'm not gonna lie, guys. We don't even have to watch the interview. I think we could script out this interview word for word without watching a single second of it. Okay, Fox News is having technical difficulties, they're saying on their... I think we could script out this stream word for word. Let me open up. Genuinely. Do you guys not think we could, like, just predict? They're the most predictable human beings in the planet. Try a different browser. It's running on Alex Jones' Twitter. We're about to break some ethical guidelines, but let's join Alex Jones' Twitter space. God, this terrible, terrible website. Someone said, no way. By the end of this, we're all going to be InfoWars. We're all going to be hooked on Alex Jones. We're all just massive Alex Jones fans. Okay, nothing is playing. Nothing is playing. I don't care enough to this. But what were we saying? Oh, yeah, we could predict exactly what they're going to say by the end of this because they're so predictable. Donald Trump's going to say, and I want you guys to join in chat. Tim Pool can't even join, and they're flipping out. Okay, if Tim Pool can't join, that's good, because Tim Pool's name keeps flashing. Thank you, Chandra. Trump's secondary plane was owned by Jeffrey Epstein. Yep, I just made a video about that. After this, go check out my Jeffrey Epstein video and leave a like. That's a good one. It's not working for anyone. Elon Trump predictions. It's not going to happen, but these two people... You know, the right likes to act like the left are bots, or that we all have a hive mind, if you know what I mean. Like, we all follow the same exact ideology. But Donald Trump and Elon Musk genuinely, down to the word, follow the exact same ideology. They both rail against vaccine mandates, against masks. They both rail against the deep state and the media controlling people. It is just the same exact talking points about DEI, about wokeness, about this so-called transgender athlete that isn't actually transgender. Sex changes, drag queens, yeah. Take a shot if the word wokeness is used. I don't want to give you guys alcohol poisoning, but they definitely use the word wokeness. Yeah, dude, nothing on Twitter. I can't believe I was about to stoop so low as to watch Alex Jones. This is a mess. Elon says it's a DDoS attack. Yep, it's a DDoS attack from the government. Elon Musk and Donald Trump were about to expose the woke mind virus, and the government didn't want that to happen. And by the way, guys, Elon Musk is George Soros. He is literally the George Soros that people are always whining about, complaining about. He's a billionaire who funnels money into campaigns and owns a social media company. These technical difficulties are so annoying. Like, nothing on Twitter works. It's wild to me. This platform needs to die. Yes, it's happening again. Someone said that. This happened to Donald Trump and DeSantis a while ago. I mean, sorry, Elon Musk and DeSantis a while ago. Someone said it's live streaming on Elon's Tesla, and he's supposedly doing tens of millions. Those are fake. Those are all like AI bots. Don't pay attention to those. Aaron Rupar, who's a journalist, said, "I've now tried to enter the Donald Trump space through Twitter, homepage, Trump's page, and Elon's page, but none of the options work." Wow, y'all. This is hilarious. Let me just point out that this is the cherry on top. This is the cherry on top for a terrible few weeks from Trump's campaign. So, like, I feel like the downhill slope really started when Biden dropped out, but you didn't see it that day, right? You didn't see it the day that Biden dropped out. You probably saw it during the National Association of Black Journalists, that conference, when he just melted down on stage. Then 5 days later, he held a press conference at Mar-a-Lago, melted down even further. Every single time he talks in public, he makes the situation much worse. And I know there's probably ketchup on one wall, mustard on the other wall. He's got condiments on all four walls right now. You know it's bad when he's got condiments everywhere. If you don't get the reference, Donald Trump threw ketchup at a wall one time. But there's got to be some way to watch this, right? Maybe they don't want to have it live. No. The whole goal of it was to be in like the Twitter live space. And like, why do people on our side spam stuff? Someone said loser Trump. I get he's a loser, but just say it one time, please. What a shit show. But I love it. I love watching the Trump campaign burn in real time. If you guys are just joining the stream, for anybody that's just joining, because people are still rolling in, Donald Trump and Elon Musk were supposed to go live on Twitter Spaces 24 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. It has not worked at all. It is very reminiscent of when Twitter Spaces completely shut down during DeSantis's launch of something. I can't remember. It was a year ago. And now, people on Twitter, like Trump supporters, are speculating that the deep state is trying to pull the stream down because they don't want people to hear what Elon Musk and, yeah. Interview to start in 7 minutes. Okay. That'd be okay. They changed the time, but if it starts, then that'll be fun. We'll fact check all of it, and we'll have fun doing it. But thank you guys all for being here. All that I ask is that you like the stream and subscribe to the channel. And let me know how you're doing today. How you guys doing this week? We are on week 3 of the momentum of the Harris campaign, and it's going perfectly because that Tim Walz pick happened at the perfect time to push the momentum a little bit further. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and bigger, and that Tim Walz pick perfectly. So how you guys feeling? Feeling good? Love you, Brandy, Melissa Miller. How you doing? Brian Shalito, great to see you here. Great to see you, Stephanie. Doing great up in Canada. Great to see you, Grimy. I miss Adam Mockler going to Trump rallies. We're going back soon. I took a break after the shooting because I didn't want to be the open liberal at the Trump rally. So I've just been kind of focusing, but doing great. Great show. Did I fix my PC fan? No, my apartment has like a fan that turns on sometimes, but I'm not in my apartment. Optimistic for the first time? Oh, yeah. There were a few weeks there where I was not feeling good. They're saying it's going to start in 7 minutes, but somehow I don't believe that Elon Musk and his team... Oh! Wait, I almost was able to join. As I was saying that, I don't believe they'll be able to fix it. No shot Elon Musk said this. No shot. Elon Musk said, nothing on Twitter is working. It's really annoying. But also, this might start working in a second, so let me make sure I have this up. Elon Musk. Okay, so he deleted the live. The way they're spinning this, you guys are about to see how the spin machine happens in real time. He said, this is gold. This is absolute gold. There appears to be a massive DDoS attack on X, working on shutting it down. Worst case, we will proceed with a smaller number of live listeners and post the conversation later. Oh my lord, there's no shot. There's no shot you're going to try to spin it like this, Elon Musk. Lord have mercy. There's no shot. He then said, we just tested the system with 8 million concurrent listeners earlier today. This is like cutting off one of your toes and be like, we just tested my feet with only 4 toes per foot just to see how I could walk. Like, that's not a win, bro. That is not a win, homie. That is hilarious. There appears to be a massive DDoS attack on X. Who are the 113,000 dumbasses that like this? Sorry, but like, bro, if you're gonna like Elon Musk's... Yeah, I don't know. Alex Stone, Roger Stone's nephew, who I interviewed, said, this is blatant election interference. These people are trying to stop you and President Trump for the sake of saving democracy, but this is how authoritarian regimes and liberty ends. This is such a joke. No shot. There's no DDoS attack on Twitter. Yeah. Yo, there's no DDoS attack on Twitter. It's because Elon Musk, how much Elon Musk cuts 50% of workforce? I know he cut like 50%. Oh, 80%. So when he first got in, I know he cut 50% within the first like few months, but 80% is next level. And this is what like MAGA wants to do in the government. They want to shed 80% of the government bureaucracy, and this is what the result would be. It would just be a completely toothless server that's not working. For anybody that's just joining, we have now reached 7,000 people. What is up, everybody? Elon Musk and Donald Trump tried to do a live stream. It was very reminiscent of DeSantis and Elon Musk doing a live stream and failing. It didn't work at all. Elon Musk then tried to spin it as being DDoS attacked. Other MAGA supporters are calling this election interference. They are so quick to call stuff election interference, except for when it's Donald Trump saying the words, will you find me 11,780 votes. Everything else is election interference. everything else, except for Donald Trump explicitly asking for votes. Someone said, I prefer this live stream. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. This live stream is probably more fun than the Elon Musk anyway. Musk updated and said they will go live at 8:30, which is a minute from now, with less listeners. Someone said, was this a setup? No, that's a funny joke. It's funny to think that Elon Musk is trying to get back at Donald Trump for saying this. If you guys are just joining, since we got a lot of new people, I want to go over this tweet one more time, or this Truth Social post that Donald Trump sent out in 2022. He said, when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. We're in, folks. What is this alien-ass music? Just the big three right here. Why is Trump playing this alien-ass music? Have you guys ever seen this clip? Oh my god, get this music off.
Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.
This is literally what this sounds like. This is what human music is supposed to sound like. I don't hate it. It's just like very waiting room. Minecraft ass music. We're here, y'all. Let's fact check live. Is everything coming through fine audio wise? Someone said my computer's lagging for them. Everything is coming through alright, right? Oh, right. Don't insult elevator music. My bad. Everything's good. Cool. People in chat always tweak me out. Because, like, one person will be like, I have technical issues. And I think that everyone does. But, it's interesting because... Holy shit, I can't even keep my train of thought with this music. You know... What kind of shows, let me ask you guys, where would you like to see VP Harris and Tim Walz appear before the election? Because they have 80-something days, and I think reaching out into non-traditional media spaces is important. So, for example, Donald Trump did an interview with Logan Paul, and I don't think VP Harris should do that. He also did an interview with, who is the other non-traditional? Oh, Aiden Ross. That was absolutely terrible. But, like, who would you guys want to see VP Harris go talk to? Because there are streamers out there, there are young people... Or not, sorry, go on SNL. SNL would be great. Hot Ones. VP Harris on Hot Ones would be good. Get Mr. Beast. Yeah, that would make sense. Hassan. David Pakman. David Pakman isn't... You gotta think bigger than David Pakman. David Pakman is amazing, and he's massive, but I'm thinking like something so mainstream. Like an Olivia Rodrigo Taylor Swift concert, because everybody who watches David Pakman most likely likes Taylor Swift. There you go. Lex Friedman, that could work. SNL, yep. Tiny Desk. They don't do music though. Isn't Tiny Desk? Do Tim Walz and Kamala Harris have like a folk music band now? Howard Stern, yep. Not Mr. Beast. Family Guy, what the hell? MeidasTouch, yeah, we'll see soon. Hopefully MeidasTouch. Tim Heidecker, that'd be cool. Any of these people. Okay, so I see a few people saying Joe Rogan. Let me see what you guys think. Say yes if you think Kamala Harris and Tim Walz should go on Joe Rogan. No, if you think they shouldn't. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I hate Joe Rogan, but at the same time, I only see upside with Tim Walz and VP Harris going on Joe Rogan. No, yes. I only see upside because you're reaching a massive... Still elevating music. David Letterman, yep. Jay Leno. No, no, no. See, I understand that you wouldn't want to legitimize Joe Rogan. I get that. But Joe Rogan is tapped into millions of young frat bros that essentially think Democrats are communists. So imagine a reality where just Tim Walz goes on Joe Rogan, which I want to cushion this again by saying I hate Joe Rogan. He spreads a lot of disinformation. But you have millions of young, like, UFC dudes that are just like, oh my God, Tim Walz is a cool dude. Oh. I'll quit yapping. We have rustling. We have rustling. Whose mic is unmuted? Colbert. What a mess. Lex Friedman. You have a good point. Thank you, Kathy, for the donation. Thank you, Teve, David Letterman. Thank you, Silent Storm. Would have them on Delilah from Sirius. Yeah, see, those, we need to have them hit mainstream. Imagine a week where SNL, then a Taylor Swift concert, then I'm sorry, but Joe Rogan, then like Lex Friedman, then Olivia Rodrigo. And again, I hate Joe Rogan, but I think being tapped into millions of young men could be valuable. It's such a high-stakes, crucial time. So all I heard for a few minutes was somebody's mic unmuted, rustling around. And like, my screen is glitched, but I'm really scared to click off right now because I have a feeling that if I click off, I'm not going to be able to join back. So I'm already in this space. Jon Stewart? Yeah, Jon Stewart. I'm thinking bigger than, okay, like, everybody that watches, most people that watch Jon Stewart will already be voting blue, right? Dolly Parton. No to Joe Rogan. And that's fair. Brian Tyler Cohen, that's fair. Jimmy Kimmel, yep. Kai Cenat, I think that'd be a good idea. He's a big streamer. Kai Cenat's a big streamer. Super charismatic, super energetic. He's funny. But apparently Kai Cenat rejected it. No Jumper. Yeah, that'd be cool. Bill Maher. Eminem interview. Yeah, use some of that celebrity pool. Eminem is a big liberal. I love me some Eminem. Oprah. Yeah, the only problem is, like, a lot of these people, it creates the echo chamber effect. So you guys see, like, okay, if he goes on David Pakman, or sorry, if Tim Walz or Kamala Harris, they go on David Pakman, like someone said, or Bill Maher, that's great, but you're kind of just tapping into your pre-existing audience. But if you're going on a show like, I don't know, any other show, it's better. What an absolute terrible mess. Anyone else that's in the space, can you guys hear anything? Let me join on my phone. It was supposed to start 7 minutes ago. Well, like, it was supposed to start 37 minutes ago, but after they rescheduled it. Okay, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing being played right now. This is wild. Thank you guys all for being here so we can fact check Elon Musk and Donald Trump more so than the mainstream media ever could. Let's return to this because this was kind of fun. And I want you guys to pitch in and tell me what you guys think. DDoS attack? Yeah, right. There's no DDoS attack. No one's targeting Elon damn Musk. Like, dude. The fact that Elon Musk is a billionaire who funnels money into the Trump campaign, opened his own PAC, bought a social media platform, runs a social media platform explicitly so he can spread information, and then when that social media platform goes belly up during a live stream, Elon Musk blames it on the deep state. Elon Musk literally blames it on the deep state, saying he is being targeted by a DDoS attack. Like, homie, if your site can't withstand a DDoS attack, oh, I'm in the space, I just can't hear anything. I'm in the space on both of my devices. The Team Trump said, this is the biggest interview in history. And now we're asking you to make President Trump's day by donating money. How could this possibly be the biggest interview in history? Yeah, there's no sound. There's no sound. I have it open on both of my devices. So we're going to listen to this interview one way or another. Elon Musk will ask about wokeness and the woke mind virus. And then, we're gonna schedule this whole thing out. Donald Trump will answer while clearly showing he doesn't fully understand what wokeness is. So Elon Musk will ask about wokeness and the woke mind virus. Donald Trump will answer while clearly showing he doesn't fully understand what wokeness is. You guys see where I'm going. That's going to happen, right? Elon Musk will bring up the Olympic athlete who won. Donald Trump will say it was a very bad thing without elaborating. Donald Trump will claim no new wars were started under him. Trump will try to paint this as the most radical ticket in American history. And spoiler alert, Elon Musk will not push back at all. How you guys feeling about my predictions so far, based off what we know about Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Elon Musk will not push back. $9,000 in chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Just a quick check in chat. Can anybody else hear anything? In the Elon Musk Donald Trump live stream? Someone said, is this actually live? Elon Musk and Donald Trump were supposed to go live 42 minutes ago, but Twitter is such a failure. Prediction: Trump will answer every question except those asked. Yep, I'm going to put that. Trump will not directly answer a single question. Someone said this dude is a tool. Homie, you're in my chat. Why are you acting like I... Their mics are both muted. Hold up.
So, but I'm honored to have this conversation. I want to emphasize it's a conversation, and it's really intended to just get a feel for what Donald Trump is just like in a conversation.
Y'all
so
could
it's hard
hear?
to catch a vibe about someone if you just don't hear them talk in a normal way. And when there's an adversarial interview, like no one's themselves in an adversarial interview. So and this is really aimed at
Is there an echo?
open-minded, independent voters who just trying to make up their mind, so you can understand like what is what is it just like to have a conversation. So honored to Donald, great to speak. We had a great conversation yesterday. As you mentioned yesterday, if we could just record that conversation and post
He's
it,
blushing.
it would have been excellent. And I hope we can have something like that today.
Well, I think we will. I'm pretty sure we will. And congratulations, because I see you broke every record in the book with so many millions of people, and it's an honor. We view that as an honor. And then you do want silencing of certain voices. Usually those are voices that have something to say that are constructive, oftentimes constructive. And so we have to consider it an honor. But congratulations on breaking every record in the book tonight.
They're going to talk about trans
thank you.
athletes. What do you mean constructive?
Well, I mean, maybe we could start off with, the assassination attempt, which was an incredible thing. And I have to say that, your actions after that assassination attempt were inspiring.
Yikes.
Instead of shying away from things, instead of ducking down, you were pumping your fist in the air and saying, fight, fight, fight. And I think that's I mean, the president of the United States represents America, and I think that is America. That is strength under fire, and so that's a big part of the reason why I was excited to endorse you as the president of the United States for having another term here is that was just incredibly inspiring. But I mean, what was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I have to be honest. I said there was blood. I had more blood. I didn't know I had that much blood. The doctors later told me that the ear is a place that is a very bloody place if you're going to get hit. But in this case, it was probably the best alternative you could even think about because it went at the right angle, and it was a hard hit. It was very, I guess you would say surreal, but it wasn't surreal. You know, I was telling somebody you have instances like this or like a lot less than this where you feel it's a surreal situation. And I never felt that way. I knew immediately that it was a bullet. I knew immediately that it was at the ear.
Yeah.
And because it hit very hard, but hit the ear. And I also heard people shout, bullets, bullets, get down, because I moved down pretty nicely, pretty quickly. And we had bullets flying right over my head after I...
This is what the government wanted to silence, guys.
The bigger miracle was that I was looking in the exact direction of the shooter, and so it hit me at an angle that was far less destructive than any other angle. So that was the miracle. That was, for those people that don't believe in God, I think we got to all start thinking about that. You have to, I'm a believer. Now I'm more of a believer, I think, and a lot of people have said that to be a lot of great people.
God just doesn't care about that Trump supporter that was standing behind him. God doesn't care.
It was amazing that I happened to be turned just at that perfect angle. And all because I put down a chart on immigration that showed that the numbers were so great. I love that chart even more now.
Maybe it's a sign. Maybe that's a sign,
It's an immigration sign.
You highlighted a serious issue, and at that moment,
Jesus,
the bullet missed your, hit your ear, but missed your head. I mean,
the amazing thing is that the sign, I said, bring down that sign on immigration, and it was literally about an eighth of a second where it would be good, and after that it was going to be a disaster, no matter which way you were facing. But it just had that perfect angle, which was exactly at this shooter.
And why does Trump sound so weird?
Such a sad situation. As you know, we lost somebody that was great, Corey, who, a firefighter, a great gentleman, a great Trumper. He was just a fantastic family and a fantastic man. And a friend of mine came up.
Imagine dying and being remembered as a great Trumper.
Help. And I said, all right, that's great. He said, do you mind? I said, I don't mind at all. And he wrote out a check for $1 million, gave it to the wife. And, she said, this is really nice, but I'd rather have my husband back, which is a nice thing for somebody to say, to be honest. She's great. The family is great. And we raised a lot of money for them and for two other gentlemen are unbelievable people also. They were hit really badly. They thought they were not going to make it, and they did. The doctors in the Butler area, I tell you, they were incredible. They saved the two, and they were really hit tough, both of them, equally. And we thought, my first question was because I heard bullets flying over me, and I said, how many people were killed? Because we had
Why is he slurring like that?
A tremendous...
Yeah,
thousands.
He's slurring terribly,
and there was no land. I mean, it was all people. So I said, "How many people have been killed?" Because I knew there were other shots.
There's like saliva in his mouth, and Elon Musk and Donald Trump have to be in the same room because Elon Musk is acting like he's on his knees right now.
And, I have to give the Secret Service sniper, they call him, or sharpshooter, but sniper because
sniper they call him.
There was a problem. He's an extraordinary shot, obviously, and he didn't know there was a problem, and he was able to pick it all out within 5 seconds, and he used one bullet from very far away, I guess probably about 400 yards. The shooter was 130, but he was on the opposite side of the field and the podium, and he saw the smoke and the flame.
Don't over exaggerate it. It's bad. His lisp, or it's not a lisp, but It's fine. Like it's just something is wrong with his saliva or something.
Perfect shot from very far away. And if he
His
if he
dentures?
didn't do that, Elon, he would have. I mean, if
He's
he
too
would have,
old.
a lot more people could have been
Sure.
badly hurt and killed. So
Yeah,
I have to
absolutely.
take my hat off to him because that's also a surreal. You know, he's been with them for 23 years, and
Yeah.
he's never had anything like this. And all of a sudden he has to act, and it's a very tough thing to act and to be shooting somebody. But he saw the gun, saw the smoke, saw the flame from the gun, very far away. Obviously has very good eyes. He's got very good vision, which I assume
What
you
are we
have to have
talking
in
about
that
here?
particular work. But he.
Can I just point out that Donald Trump desperately needs a comeback rally, comeback speech, something to fling him back into the limelight or something. That's what he tried to do with this press conference, and this is just a sad, sad showing. Somebody in chat said, thanks, I'm learning so much from this. Yeah, this is what the government wanted to suppress. The government was trying to DDoS them because they wanted to save our ears from hearing Donald Trump's slurring ass fucking.
The attempted assassination.
It's so bad.
But I mean, there does seem to be, I mean, some pretty significant failings elsewhere in the system. Like, there's just no way that, like, how on earth does a shooter get on a roof 130 yards away? That seems crazy. I think most people people are wondering how on earth could such a thing happen.
Well, you know, I view it as two ways. There should have been nobody on the roof. There were people, because there were so many tens of thousands of people there. There were people that were seeing him, and there was one woman with a red shirt and Trump all over it, and she's screaming. That guy's got a gun. You know, you saw it probably. There's a guy up there with a gun.
I mean, it's like I guess, I mean, for my part, and I think probably many members of the public are wondering how the heck are, basically people wondering by it, pointing out there's a guy on the roof with a gun.
Yeah.
And they're seeing it, but somehow it's not being addressed. That does seem crazy.
Well, they're going to learn from this. The communication between the local police, who sort of had an idea, and then ultimately a man lifted himself up to the roof, could barely do it because he was pulling himself up, and he saw the man with the gun. The man with the
Should I tweet out Elon Musk's arm is getting sore from jerking off Donald Trump?
But he was like pulling.
Sorry to be
himself
vulgar,
up.
but this is so annoying.
And because of that, he couldn't get to his gun, and he fell down. Actually, very badly hurt his leg, his ankle. I hear very badly, but he fell down, and he did. From what I understand, he did say there's a guy up there with a gun, and the shooting started very quickly after that. I think it forced the shooter to go maybe quicker. He was supposed to be a very good shot.
Yeah.
My sons, Don and Eric, they can't believe what happened, but they said from 130 yards, a bad shot would hit that target almost every time. They said it's like in golf, sinking a 2-foot putt.
Yeah, it's not a tough shot.
It's not a long shot. The Secret Service person had the long shot. He had a triple the distance actually. So
he's so boring. He's such a boring guy.
A terrible thing. Look,
do the Hannibal Lecter thing.
I have to say this about the Secret Service. When I went down, and I went down based on I think they're screaming, but other people also, because people saw this happen. You had so many people.
Do
One
the
of
shark
the miracles
thing.
was that nobody ran. I mean, if a gun goes off, the crowd control people showed us this. When guns go off, and it does happen in stadiums at a soccer match or some kind of a match, everybody flees. They call it a stampede, like cattle. But everybody, and a lot of people get killed with those stampedes. We had more people than you'd have at, some of these matches or these games, and nobody left. You had a small group behind us in the grandstand, and that was full. And you look at it as it was taking place, and normally they'd be running. They didn't leave. They saw that I was hurt. They saw a lot of blood, and they saw that I went down. And it's almost like they wanted to be with me. Well, out front, you had thousands, tens of thousands of people. As far as the eye could see, you had people in Butler, as far as the eye could see. And a lot of press, too. There was, many cameras on watching this. It's what makes it so different, because normally things happen.
Republicans
that
are
aren't
mad
good,
at me for
but
posting
you never
it.
have a picture of it. Here we have all these cameras shooting it. So, sort of amazing. But one of the interesting things was that you didn't have anybody flee. You didn't have anybody stampede. Stood up and they're
Trump
looking
supporters
like,
are mad.
I
This
mean,
is
I
so.
think you
Why is
wanna
this guy
have-
so
You
boring?
want to have them in a foxhole with you. I want to meet some of those people
Sure,
because
sure.
it's so different from what you heard. But so I was down. But the Secret Service
Yeah.
guys, there were bullets flying right over my head. You could hear them go whizzing, and these guys came jumping on top of me, and a young lady, Kate, would jump. They moved so fast, and let me tell you, that took tremendous courage. Now there was a lack of coordination. There was, obviously everybody understands that somebody that building should have been covered, and
I mean,
that was the
I think
big
that,
thing.
like, I mean, looking at the aerial views, that building would be like the #1 spot for a sniper. I mean, it's like if you were to pick, like, what is the favorite place? So if the goal is to assassinate, what's your favorite spot? That building. The
You're
roof
right.
of that building would be #1.
That would have been the spot.
It's like you can ask for a better location. It's like
No,
#1.
that would have been the spot. You know what people think is when the local policeman, who, by the way, he really, he did what he was supposed to do. He couldn't hold on any longer. And then when he got his head just peeking above, this guy standing there with a gun at his head. And when he fell down, again, hurt his ankle very badly, but he was making the calls. But
Why are
what
they
happened
talking
is the
about this?
firing
This
took
is
place
so
very
boring.
soon. So what they think is that this guy ran to his site, which he had all planned out with the gun.
Which was that presidential debate, really quickly? Which was that presidential debate where, they need to move on from this, where essentially one candidate did better. Was it Nixon and like Kennedy? One candidate did better because they were on camera, or they were watched on camera. Or when you polled people that watched it on the TV, they said one candidate did better. When you polled people that listened to it over radio, they say that another candidate did better. That's what this reminds me of, because when you listen to Donald Trump, it's just so what's the which election was that? Someone said, Adam, stop pausing it. Do you really think Donald Trump is providing anything of Kennedy and Nixon? Was it Kennedy and Nixon?
Place, but it was a very terrible experience. The Butler Hospital, they did such a great job. The doctors were so good. Everybody was so good. There was a mistake. If somebody knew, because people were hearing, there was just a bad feeling that there was somebody was around. You know that story now. It's been
He sounds terrible.
If somebody could,
If I'm glitching out, you have to refresh the page, guys. You have to refresh the page.
I think over 300. I think I did a lot more than that, but we did a lot. And oftentimes they'll say, "Sir, could you wait 10 minutes, please? Sir, could you wait 20 minutes? There's a storm overhead or lightning or something," right? And that happens often. And this would have been a perfect time for that to have happened, but it didn't. It didn't get coordinated. That was the problem.
Next question, please.
It was I think your actions in the heat of fire, and like what I find admirable there was that
this is actually kind of
you can't
annoying.
fake bravery under such circumstances. The courage is
We get it.
or it is not. It's not a rehearsed action. And so I just want to say that I think a lot of people admire your courage under fire there. And so
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I didn't think of it. I just wanted to get up, and I wanted to stand up. I wanted to let people know. I felt I was good when they were on top of me, covering me, actually, very much covering me, and very bravely. But I wanted to get up. I said, I want to get up. And
I said, I want to get up.
they wanted, they have everything there. They wanted stretcher. I didn't like the stretcher, and I knew I was hit in the ear, but I knew I wasn't hit anywhere else. They felt I was hit someplace.
Sorry,
else.
I'm just over
There was
Donald Trump
such a
tonight.
lot of
Particularly,
blood.
I'm over Donald
And they
Trump.
were sure that I was hit someplace else, and they were saying, "Sir, you were
Sir?
hit more than the ear." I said, "Nope, I was hit in the ear. I want to get up. Let me get up."
Why
And
is he
so
talking
I got
like
up,
this?
and the crowd didn't know what to think. I mean, this was so many people, and you could see they were confused. They didn't know what to think, and I wanted to let them know I was okay. It was very
And he
important
said,
for me to let
"Sir?"
them know that, and they went wild. You've seen the after. They didn't go wild when I got up because they didn't know, was I alive? You really couldn't tell. When I stood up before the hand, before the the fist in the air, they didn't know if I was alive.
I'm pausing because Donald Trump isn't saying anything of substance, but if you guys are just joining, we waited 45 minutes for the interview to start. It started, we've been talking about the Trump assassination attempt for 15 minutes. I think Donald Trump and Elon Musk, I can't tell who has more of a hard-on for the other one right now. Elon Musk because he gets to glaze Donald Trump, or Donald Trump because he's getting glazed. It's just so annoying.
Well, and I mean, speaking of the sort of slide that got you to turn that saved your life, really, was the illegal immigration slide. Maybe this,
That's right.
maybe this is worth talking about that.
It was
that slide saved
You're
your
right.
life.
No,
basically.
the illegal immigration saved my life. You're right, but it was, and I had to be at that exact angle.
I mean, that's a great one. saved by illegal immigration.
You know, the incredible
100%.
thing, though, when you talk about the odds, you had to be exactly at that angle. But
Wait, no.
but the incredible thing is that
We were so close to talking about Elon just tried to pivot off to illegal immigration, and Donald Trump pivoted back to the assassination attempt. He said this might be a good opportunity to talk about illegal immigration. And Donald Trump says, the thing is,
to left, it's at the beginning, not the end.
are they
And
still?
even the people that put it up, they were unprepared, and they did a great job. They got it up immediately, fortunately. But I looked to the right, and the bullet came.
They're still they're still talking about it. We'll pause it we'll mute it for a bit, for like 10 to 20 seconds. We'll see what happens when we come back. Stop pausing it. Are you guys really mad that I'm muting Donald Trump for 5 seconds while he rambles? No shot. He's like hard to listen to anyways.
It's very much, I say, an act of God. It's a miracle that it happened, and I'm honored by it. I'm honored by it.
Well, what were you about to say about illegal immigration before you were rudely interrupted?
Well, I was going to say how good the numbers were. By the way, we're going back to Butler, and we're going to go back in October. We're all set up, and the people are fantastic in Butler. It's a great area. These are incredible people. Like the three that, in the case of Corey, killed, and the other two, the families I got to know them a little bit, and the families are great. But we're going back to Butler, and I think I'll probably start by saying, as I was saying, prior to being so horribly interrupted.
Yeah.
But
so rudely interrupted by an assassination attempt.
But the chart.
Some people have no manners.
Elon, the chart was just a chart that, in my last week, we had the best illegal immigration numbers, meaning stopping. It was at the lowest. You've seen the chart. It's become quite a famous chart.
Yeah.
But that was the lowest point ever recorded. It was a really, I was very proud of those numbers. And then you see what happened with these people, Kamala and Joe. You see what happened. They just let it go.
Audio's good, right?
Remain in Mexico policies. I had all these different policies that was so good. Guys like Tom Homan and Brandon Judd from Border Patrol. These are all people that they've been on television. They said it's the best numbers we've ever had. We had so many different
sounds terrible.
Catch and release in Mexico, not the United. We had catch and release in the United States. We had it in Mexico. We had so many things. We had things where many people come in there, they have contagious diseases. We had everything passed. If you have a contagious disease, I'm sorry, but we cannot allow you into the country. So we were setting literally records, and all I was doing is showing that, and I use it sometimes.
Sure.
And in this case, I'm glad I used it. I can tell you that. But they were fantastic numbers. But I'm going to sleep with that chart always. I'll be sleeping with that chart. That chart was very important.
He sleeps with this chart more than Melania, apparently.
Would it be accurate to say that you're supportive of legal immigration, but we also need to shut down illegal immigration, and especially unvetted illegal immigration, because that's not the same as saying that everyone who's an illegal immigrant is bad. In fact, I think most people who are illegal immigrants are actually good, but you can't tell the difference unless there's a solid vetting of who comes across the border. Does that accurately represent your position?
I say it very simply. They have to come in legally. They have to be checked.
Yeah.
Because look, Kamala was the border czar. Now she's denying it. Everything that I do, she's saying she was strong.
Fact check, but then when when Congress tries to pass a bill that allows people to come over legally in a easier way, provides more funding for asylum judges, he
And
nukes
all
it.
of a sudden, she's making a speech.
He's
and
lying.
saying there will be no tax on tips. I said that
He's
months
lying.
ago. And by the way, they had just the opposite. They had not only tax on tips, but they hired 88,000 IRS agents.
Oh,
and
he's
many
so
of
mad
them
about
were
this.
assigned to go get waitresses and caddies and all of this on tips. They have a policy. They had a policy that they were really going to go after you and were really harassing people horribly. And then all of a sudden, for politics, she says, she comes out with what I said, which I think is terrible. And I think it's also hitting them very hard. These people are fake. Now they're also saying they did a good job on the border. We had the worst numbers in the history of the world, not
Oh,
of
he's
our
getting
country.
mad.
There's never been a country in history that has had a catastrophe like this. We've had.
He's getting mad.
I believe, and I think you believe this too. You hear 12
Yeah.
million, 13. Bombing Israel, October 7th. They're coming from all over the world.
We're back. My
And,
bad.
you look at, it's so sad, October 7th, because it should have never happened.
Yeah.
It's
We
so
got DDoSed.
sad when you look at Ukraine. It should have never happened. We have a defective
Yeah.
government. These are defective people, and they're not people that should be running it. But where you see it the best is the border, because you have millions of people coming in a month. And then she gets up and she tries to pretend like she's going to do something. She had 3.5 years. And by the way, they have another 5 months that they can do something, but they
Yeah.
won't do anything. It's all talk. She's
No.
incompetent and he's incompetent. And frankly, I think that she's more incompetent than he is. And that's saying something because he's not too good.
Yeah. No, I think it is essential to have a secure border. I mean, you're really not a country unless you have a
Correct.
secure border. And
And secure
uh,
elections, too.
you know, yeah, absolutely secure elections, and so it's just essential to have a real border, or we can't function as a country, and our service, our central services are being overwhelmed in a lot of cities, and as we were talking about earlier, I think having a legal immigration process that is smooth and efficient and done well, and speaking as someone who is a legal immigrant, and I think I mean, like one way to think of it is, who do you want on your team? Who do you want on Team America? And I think we want to just say, okay, we want to let in people who are gonna, be great contributors to our society and to our economy,
Right.
and and who do you want on the team? And it's not to say that, like in my opinion, actually, I'd say like probably most of the illegal immigrants actually are actually good, hardworking people. That's my opinion. But some are not, and you just have.
They think the government wanted to DDoS them and attack them for their high school level analysis of immigration. This is high school level analysis, you guys. And by the way, I'll pause it if I want. People keep getting mad at it because I pause it slightly, but like, yeah.
In theft or robbery, I don't understand what's taken them so long to get here, because we're in such a target-rich environment. I mean, why aren't more people who have a career in, bad things coming here sooner? Because it's a piece of cake to go rob, houses in L.A. or New York, compared to other parts of the world, and and in a lot of places in America, if you try to stop the person who's robbing you, you'll be arrested.
Yeah.
So it's
It's,
insane.
it's right. I mean, what's happening with crime, and our police are so good, but they're not allowed to do their job. But I have to tell you, Elon,
They're
I hate
not.
to say it because it's such
They're
a
not
downer
allowed
to
to do
say it.
that.
I
I
hate
think Elon
to say
agrees.
it. I hate it, but you have a lot of people that just shouldn't be. I think it's a much bigger number than you think. They're allowing,
think you're
again,
right,
they're
yeah.
allowing people from their jails. And if you were running one of these countries where they're coming from, you would have had all of them. As an example, Venezuela Their crime is down 72%.
This is
They're taking their
lying.
drug dealers. They're taking, frankly, their prisoners. They're emptying out their prisons. They're taking their criminals, their murderers, their rapists, and they're delivering them into.
That's what Castro did.
Yeah,
that,
well, he
you know,
did on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
You know, it was a much smaller
Yeah.
scale. But this is a massive scale because this is being done
So
worldwide.
this is a larger
But here's
scale of
what's happening.
Castro.
Crime all over the world is down. And wait till you see the numbers that we have. You know, this is migrant crime. This is crime that's going to be.
Yeah.
And I saw it today in New York where somebody was knifed with raped the girlfriend of a man that stood there watching in New York in one of the shelters and started
Sure.
pulling out
Were
the
you looking
knives
in the
and
mirror, Trump?
Bad things happen today. But this is happening every day. These are rough people. These are people that are in jail for murder and all sorts of things. And they're releasing them into our country. And they're telling them, if you come back, we're going to kill you. We're going to give you the death penalty or kill you. So they don't want to come back. But these are rough people.
Yeah.
These are criminals that make our criminals look like nice people. And it's horrible.
You
what they're
are
doing.
our criminals,
and
Donald
she's
Trump.
in charge of it because, you know, now she's trying to say
Sure.
she had nothing to do with it. And she's such a liar because she was called the border czar the first day, and it was on the headlines of every newspaper. She's the border czar, and she never even went there. She went to one location which had nothing to do with where the problem is. You know, she went in and out, I
Right.
guess, because she was getting a lot of pressure,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
had nothing to do with the problem
Yeah.
is. But she was the
Well-
border czar, and people
Yeah, yeah.
can't allow them to get away with their disinformation campaign. Now she's trying to say that she wasn't really involved, and the whole thing is horrible. She was totally in charge. She could have shut the border down without him. He didn't know what he was doing anyway, so he wouldn't have even known
Yeah.
what happened. You could shut the border down. He
Yeah.
wouldn't even know the difference. But the fact is that she was border czar. But if you don't have to call her
Yes.
that.
This
The
is a
fact
lie
is you could
too.
just call her. She was in charge of the border, and the border was the worst
Right.
ever.
It's simply not working.
No, it's horrible.
Whether it's a question of intention or competence, either way, we don't have a secure border, and we have people streaming over.
Yeah, this is not an interview. This is a mutual admiration session between lovers, long lost lovers, in their abusive relationship where Donald Trump said he could have told Elon to drop to his knees and beg. They're giving high school level analysis while acting like the government is out to get them for some reason. And high school level analysis is charitable.
The video, like, just live. I just flew there one day and just to see, hey, is this made up or real? And I'm just seeing people stream across the border. And I have to say, you know, at least the people that I saw did not look friendly. You know,
These-
so
They
These are
don't
people-
look friendly.
Look at my video.
That's like
and say,
that's just
hey, you know,
profiling.
these people look friendly. I don't look super friendly. So
These are people that
Um,
Elon would not be the same man if he had to walk across the street and look these people in the eye. These are rough people. These are really rough people coming across. And I know
When you say somebody looks like a bad person, isn't that just like absolute profiling, like by definition
coming in,
profiling?
and they're putting, and who's doing this are the heads of the countries. And you would be doing
Yeah.
it, and so would I. And everyone would say, oh, what a terrible thing to say. The fact is, it's brilliant for them because they're taking all of their bad people, really bad people. And I hate to say this, the reason the numbers are much bigger than you would think is they're also taking their non-productive people. Now, these aren't people that will kill you. We have enough of them. But these are people that are non-productive. They are just not productive. I mean, for whatever reason. They're not
Yeah, yeah.
workers or they don't want to work or whatever. And these countries are getting rid of non-productive people in the caravans in many cases. And they're also getting rid of their murderers and their drug dealers and the people that are really brutal people. And they're coming into our country
Yeah.
at levels that have never been seen before. And I saw an ad just before I got on the air. I'm walking over here, and I saw an ad by Kamala saying how she is going to provide border security. Where has she been for 3.5 years? For 3.5 years,
yeah, no,
we have 20 million people
I
poured
think,
in.
is
It's a terrible.
Yeah, I
thing.
think this, frankly, I think this is a fundamental existential issue for the United States. And if we have another 4 more years of open borders, and it's going to be even
Open
worse,
borders?
another 4 more years, it's going to be even worse than it's been for the past 3.5 years.
This is how centrists work. They pretend. See, Elon Musk started off by saying, don't you think some people should be able to come here legally? And now they are full-on conspiracy theorists.
South America only. You know, we think of South America, we think of Honduras and El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, you know, the four. But it's not that. It's everywhere. They're coming in from everywhere. And I had to stay in Mexico.
Yeah, I think this is a super important point. Like people, it's like basically when I went down there, I was like, well, where are people from? It's like almost no one was from Mexico.
No, Mexico less.
It's just the border. It's just the border with Mexico. But the people coming in, it's Earth, the rest of Earth, and America
My IQ is
only,
dropping.
You know, about 4 or 5% of the population of Earth. It would only take a few percent of the rest of Earth to overwhelm everything in the US.
We're already overwhelmed, Elon. We're overwhelmed. You had to see the news tonight about New York, and I love that place. And what they're doing to it is horrible. What they're doing to it, and all the courts do is they try and focus on Trump. Okay, let's focus on Trump, who did nothing wrong. I complain about a rigged election. Elon, what's happened is unbelievable. You have from Africa. From the Congo, they're coming from the Congo, and 22 people came in from the.
Imagine this blunt rotation. These 3 people right here.
Take them out of jails, which is very expensive, you know, to maintain the jails. Although they don't do too much maintaining, I can tell you. But they take them out of jails, prisons. They take them out and they bring them to the United States. They deposit them in the United States and say, "Don't ever come back, or you're going to be executed."
Trump gets saliva all over the blunt. And Elon Musk is too busy glazing.
But they're coming from Africa. They're coming from Asia. They're coming from the Middle East. They're coming from South America.
Well,
they're coming from everywhere.
Earth,
and there are a lot of really bad ones.
It's just a
lot of really bad ones.
It's just an everywhere on Earth thing, and it's just not possible for the United States to absorb, you know, everyone from Earth, or you know, even a few percent of the rest of Earth. It's just not possible. So,
well, Elon, we're going to have to finish this up. We're going to have the largest deportation in history of this country, and we have no choice. Otherwise, we're going to have a country. What they've done to our country. Think of it, with you know, in Venezuela and in some of these other countries, crime is down 50, 60, 70, 80%. And you would be the same. You would have. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Venezuela has not gotten rid of all of them. They've gotten rid of about 70% of their really bad people. Their jails are about 50%. Put into the United States.
Trump is wrong about this.
Some are 30%, some are at 50%. They're all different. But the bottom line is they're all going to be at 100%. Why wouldn't you put 100% of it? And they're doing it right now while this third-rate phony candidate. Don't forget, I beat Biden. He failed in the debate miserably. And, you know, some people said, oh, gee, it's too bad. It's too bad he did so badly, or I did well in the debate. You know, the first night they said, wow, one of the people at CNN said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever witnessed. And then 2 days later, they didn't talk about that. They just said he was bad. But that's
People get mad when I mute it, but I'm here to fact check him. It is my responsibility, and you can watch this on other channels. I just want to say what Donald Trump is saying, everything is a lie. Whenever he mentions Venezuela, it is a lie. Everything he says about immigration is gaslighting. When he says they're doing the largest mass deportation operation, nobody wants that unless you're just a racist scumbag. How are you going to do that without any violence, number one? How are you going to do that without accidentally deporting American citizens? And that would tank the U.S. economy. That would tank the U.S. economy if you deported 10 to 20 million people. And also, it would be violent. And also, what happens when all the local cops are rounding up just families living their lives? What happens to the other criminals, like Donald Trump?
Never happened. Russia would never have attacked Ukraine, and we'd have no inflation. And we wouldn't have had the Afghanistan mess, if you think of it. Well, and we wouldn't have had Afghanistan. Yeah. But we think of it. You take a few of those events away, and we have a different world. We would also have inflation was caused by oil.
Yeah, I think you're making an excellent point here, which is that
of course you do,
when
Elon.
Other countries can, that are thinking about invading or doing bad things. When they're thinking about that, they're thinking about, okay, what's the American president going to do, and do they fear the American president, or is it someone they do not respect and do not fear? And I think they would rightfully be. I mean, look at the footage of the assassination. They're like, okay, President Trump is like, don't mess with me. I mean, that's like, whereas I think people are not going to be, and they obviously have not been at all intimidated by Biden, and they certainly will not be intimidated by Kamala. And you have to really think of that in the context of global security. That's that if the American president is someone that, like, evil dictators are scared of, that makes a huge difference to the security of the world.
So I had a good relationship with Putin, despite the Russia hoax that lasted for over 2 years.
So
Just a
Putin's not
hoax
scared of
created
Trump, is
by
what Trump
Hillary
is saying.
Clinton and Adam
not
Shifty
scared of Trump.
Schiff, some just bad people, just sick people, frankly. I mean, Schiff is a sick person. He's going to end up probably being a senator. It's hard to believe. The whole thing
He's
is
a
hard to
normal
believe.
guy.
But, they put our country in danger with that stuff, too. They actually, when they make up stories, and you have to fight your way out of it for a long time. But I know Putin very well. I got along with him very well. He respected me, and it's just one
So
of those
he's not
things.
scared of
And
you.
we would talk a lot about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. But I said, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. I shut down Nord Stream 2. That was the big oil pipeline, the biggest pipeline in the world going all over Europe. I shut it down. Biden came, and then they say,
Yeah.
I love.
1 second. Sorry.
He shut down Keystone XL pipeline, which is our pipeline that would have employed 48,000 people.
My bad. My AirPods keep fucking connected. Here we go. Technical difficulties.
Because it was jobs and it moved oil. And by the way, in a much more environmentally friendly way. It's underground. It's not a truck that catches on fire or a train that catches on fire. But think of it. He shut down the XL pipeline, the Keystone XL pipeline.
Yeah.
He shuts that down and he approves the Russian pipeline.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Right?
sense. It's inconsistent. Certainly but I mean, I think it's just worth emphasizing to listeners the immense importance of whether the United States president is intimidating or not intimidating, and how much that matters to global security, because there's some real tough characters out there, and if they don't think the American president is tough, they will do what they want to do.
I know every one of
And
them.
it puts the
Yeah.
whole world in danger.
Elon, I know every one
It's
of
a
them,
big
and I know
deal.
them well. I know
Yeah.
Putin. I know President Xi. I know Kim Jong-un of North Korea. I know every one of them. And let me tell you, people will say, oh, this is terrible. He said, I'm not saying anything good or bad. They're at the top of their game. They're tough. They're smart. They're vicious. And they're going to protect their country, whether they love their country. They probably do. It's just a different form of love, but they're going to protect their country. But these
Yeah.
are tough people at the top of their game. And when they see a Kamala or when they see Biden, Sleepy Joe, they can't even
Yeah.
believe it. They can't believe this happened. All the stuff that you're seeing now, all the horror that you look at Israel, they're all waiting for an attack from Iran. Iran would not be attacking, believe me. When I was there, and I say it with respect because I think we would have been good with Iran. I don't want to do anything bad to Iran, but they knew not to mess around. Iran was broke because I told China, if you buy from Iran oil, it's all about the oil. That's where the money is. But if you buy oil from Iran, you're not going to do any business with the United States. And I meant it. And they said, we'll
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
They didn't buy oil. Other countries, likewise.
Sure.
You want to buy, you're not doing business with the United States. And they were at a point where they had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for any of these instruments of terror. And it was amazing. In fact, there were articles when I was leaving, which is hard to believe, actually, especially when you look at what's happened to our country. Our country is so bad right now. It's such a different place. We were respected. Think of it. 4 years ago, we were so respected to a point where when I said don't buy oil, they didn't buy oil, but they had no money,
Yeah.
and Israel would have never been attacked. Zero chance. And again, I said to Vladimir Putin, I say, don't do it. You can't do it, Vladimir. You do it, it's going to be a bad day. You cannot do it. And I told him things that what I do, and he said, no way. And I said, way. And you know, it's the last time we ever had the conversation. He would never have done. I got along well with him.
This is the commentary of a kindergartner. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. I said, I'll do bad things. He said, no way. No, you won't. Like, Jesus Christ.
President Obama, just before entering, you know, it's a sort of a ritual. And I sat down with him and we talked. It was supposed to be for a very short period of time. It turned out to be a long period of time. I said, what's the biggest problem? He said, North Korea. I had that problem worked out very quickly. It was nasty at the beginning with Rocket Man and, you know, all the different things.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I got a call.
Those were some epic tweets, by the way.
Yeah, they
Those
were.
like
They were
absolutely...
epic. Everything. He said that he has a red button on his desk. I said, I have a red button on my desk too. But
So epic, Elon says, as drool drips down his mouth because he.
Rocket Man. Anyway, here's the bottom line. All of a sudden, I got a call from him, and they said they want to meet. They want to meet me, and we met.
Yeah.
As you remember, we met in Singapore. We met also in Vietnam, and I got along with him great. We were in no danger. But President Obama, thought we were going to end up in a war. A nuclear war with him. And let me tell you, he's got a lot of nuclear stuff, too.
Exactly.
He's got plenty of nuclear. He can do plenty of damage. So
yes, I mean, it's because, you know, I mean, people like Kim Jong-un, they respond to strength, not weakness.
Well,
And
he and I had a good relationship.
You know,
remember I met him and we walked onto his land. Nobody ever walked onto his land before. I walked onto. I wouldn't say let's bring up Secret Service again. I wouldn't.
For a reason, because we didn't want to legitimize him on the world stage, just yapping.
Period. But we were not in danger with him because of me. You know, I always say that we have enemies on the outside and we have enemies on the inside. We have some really bad people in our government and people that are controlling of the people. I mean, I'd mention names, but I really don't want to give them the credit. But we have some really bad, and I say they're more dangerous than Russia and China. If you have a smart president, a president that gets it, we are not in danger from those countries because they need us and they need our help. I mean, we forced Obama, if you think about it, Obama and Biden, and Bush to a certain extent, in all fairness, forced Russia and China together. And if you're a history student, the first thing you learn is you cannot let Russia and China align. But then they also got, if you take a look, Iran, and they have North Korea. That's, you know, they call it the axis of evil. In the old days, you had the axis of global warming, where the ocean's going to rise 1/8 of an inch over the next 400 years. And you'll have more oceanfront property, right? The biggest threat is not.
Oh, my bad. I was muted, but I was saying this is literally a kindergarten level analysis. He's like, did you know that Russia and China can be allies and they're bad? And that North Korea can even join? That is what he's saying, but I was muted. My bad.
People like Biden. You know, Biden did something with Russia. There was no chance of him ever going in. And when I left, and then after I left, they started forming big armies on the border. And I thought he was doing that because Putin's a good negotiator. I thought he was doing that to negotiate. But then Biden started saying such stupid things. For instance, he said that it can be a NATO country. Now, Russia, for as long as there's been NATO, has said we're never going to agree to that. And we go right up front and say that. And we did things and said things through this president with a low IQ, very low IQ. He had a low IQ 30 years ago, by the way, but now he might not even have a IQ at all. There's nothing on the board that goes this low. He said things that were so stupid that war had zero chance of happening if I were there. Zero chance. He was saying everything the opposite. Everything the opposite.
He calls other people stupid, but this is a man that didn't know what NATO was until he was 80 years old. This is a man who thinks that F-35 fighter jets are actually invisible. This is a man who thinks we can nuke hurricanes and then you can draw a Sharpie on a map. I mean, this man is actually genuinely dumb. He doesn't know that there's two different words or two different meanings of asylum.
True story. But if you think about it, Russia's gone, Russia defeated Germany with us. And they defeated Napoleon. They've been around a long time. They're a big fighting force. Yeah, sure. And It's
course.
very unfair. And Ukraine now doesn't have enough men. They're now.
If you're mad that I'm pausing it, there's other streams that show it, but I tweeted this out the other day. Wait, is Trump also talking about visas when he says immigrants are getting credit cards? This man cannot be real. So when Donald Trump talks about asylums, Hannibal Lecter, he thinks that it's because people who are seeking asylum, immigrants who are seeking asylum, are coming from asylums or insane asylums. He doesn't know that asylum has two meanings. When he's talking about visas, he says that immigrants have credit cards. He thinks visas as in the Visa credit cards. If you guys just learned something in chat, let me know, because I just learned this over the past month or so.
We have numerous places that could end up in a World War III right now for no reason whatsoever.
I think you're right. I think people underrate the risk of World War III, and it's just when you're looking at the risk of global thermonuclear warfare, it's game over for humanity, and it's something that people have, I think, after the end of the Cold War, people have become complacent about, but they actually have forgotten that there are currently a lot of nuclear missiles that have targeting parameters for the United States from other
100%.
countries.
And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to build an Iron Dome over us. Israel has it. We're going to have the best Iron Dome in the world. We need it. And we're going to make it all in the United States. But we're going to have protection, because it just takes one maniac to start something. We're going to have protection, and we're going to have. Why shouldn't we have an Iron Dome? Israel has one.
It's just not
places have
practical.
one that nobody even knows about, frankly. But Israel has it. We're going to have an Iron.
Our country is surrounded by two of our allies, and we have protective defense
but with
systems.
all of that being said, the election's coming up, and the people want to hear about the economy and the fact that they can't buy groceries because they don't have enough money to buy groceries. The inflation has killed them. Food prices are up 50, 60, even 100% in some cases. And
this is Trump right now.
Stupid administration allowed this to happen.
This is what he sounds
and it's a shame. And that's the thing that people most care about, in my opinion. They care about the border a lot. And we discussed the border at great length. It's nice to have a forum like this where I can discuss something at length. And by the way, you think Biden could do this interview? Do you think that Kamala could do this interview? They would take a pass on you.
No, they could not.
So they don't need Elon. They don't need Elon screaming out questions. It's pretty sad when you think that somebody that does this for a living can't answer a question or is afraid to do an interview. And in her case, with a very friendly interview, she's got all friendly interviewers. It's pretty sad.
Yes, absolutely.
But the big thing now is the economy, Elon. And as much as I mean, I view nuclear as the single most important thing, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't understand that. But it doesn't have to. If I understand it, that's all you need. Because if I was
think he even knows what nuclear power, nuclear energy is?
But the thing that they really is making them angry is what Kamala and Biden have allowed to happen to the economy. It's a disaster with inflation. The inflation, it doesn't matter what you make. The inflation has eaten you alive. If you're a worker or if you're just a middle income person, you can't afford. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people were saving a lot of money. Today, they're using all their money and borrowing money just to live. It's a horrible thing that's happening. And we'll end that quickly.
Well, I think a lot of people just don't understand where inflation comes from. Inflation comes from government overspending because the checks never bounce when it's written by the government. So if the
Back to the third grade econ,
spends far more than it brings in,
teach us supply and demand.
Increases the money supply, and if the money supply increases faster than the rate of goods and services, that's inflation.
Really?
So really, we need to have we need to reduce our government spending. And we need to re-examine. Can
you explain to us the three branches of government while you're at it, Elon? While you're explaining to us middle school
where
politics?
Is it not sensible?
Right.
And
is he flexing? Is this a flex?
We're currently adding, I think, $1 trillion to the deficit roughly every 100 days.
That's right.
And the interest payments on the national
You're talking
debt
to the wrong guy about that.
The defense budget. It's on the order of $1 trillion.
It's interest,
and it keeps growing.
I rebuilt our military, largely rebuilt our military. Did a great job on it, which was so important. We had jets, we had fighters that were, and bombers that were 70 years old, and we did a great job in that. Then we gave 85 billion of it back to Afghanistan, if you can believe it. We gave them 85 billion. They're one of the largest sellers of military equipment in the world. They're selling what we gave them. that was one of the most embarrassing days in the history of our country. But if you think about, let's go back to the economy. We have to bring energy prices down. Energy started it. The price of gasoline. Now your cars don't require too much gasoline, so you have a good, and you do make a great product. I have to say, I have to be honest with you. That doesn't mean everybody should have an electric car, but these are minor details. But your product is incredible. But the gasoline, Elon, is the cost of energy.
Elon Musk is blushing right now with his feet
kicking. Your
kicking.
house and cooling your house. That has to come down. It's gone up 100%, 150, and 200%, and that has to come down. When that comes down, and we're going to drill, baby, drill. They stopped drilling, and then they went back to drilling because they went back to the Trump policy. But if they won the day after they get into office, this country will go out of business because they're going to go to an energy policy.
This is Elon Musk when Trump compliments him. He's got his feet in the air, all excited.
Of the AI, and I have to say that AI, and this is shocking to me, but AI requires twice the energy that the country already produces for everything. So you're going to have to build. We're going to have to build a lot of energy if our country will be competitive with China, because that's our primary competitor for this on the AI. You're going to need a lot of electricity. You're going to need tremendous electricity, like almost double what we produce now for the whole country, if you can believe it.
Sure. Well, just going, back to this, like this basic thing, that people try to make it sound complicated, but it's not. But inflation is caused by government overspending.
Right.
Would you agree that we need to take a look at government spending and
is he doing a hard question?
Efficiency commission that just tries to make the spending sensible, and so the country lives within its means, just like a person.
The waste is incredible, and it's
because Trump spent a lot. It's Elon Musk kind of like.
You used to have a lot of people making jets, and you end up with two companies, and they'll probably try and merge at some point. I went through it, like Air Force, just a thing like Air Force One. One of the first documents they asked me to sign, a general walks in, "Sir, would you please sign this document?" And what is it? Air Force One. That's with Boeing, which is basically two planes, two 747s. And the price was $5.7 billion for two planes. Now, now they're highly sophisticated.
That's insane.
They're even nicer than your plane, okay? But much more sophisticated. They're very, I won't say what's on it, but they got a lot of stuff on it. Anyway, but it's 5.7.
That's a crazy
number. It's a crazy number. But I said, I'm not going to pay 5.7. I'm not going to do it. I said, who made the deal? Obama and his people. I said, well, then I know the deal's no good. I'm not going to do it. And over a course of about 4 weeks, by my saying I'm not going to do it, I got the price reduced by $1.6 billion for the exact same plane, other than we had a nicer paint job, if you want to know the truth. But for the exact same plane, I saved one. And I said to Boeing, man, you guys must make a lot of money if you can reduce the price by that. But now what I do hear is that they're going back to the Biden administration and wanting big cost overruns, because they see these dopey suckers in there, and they'll end up getting some of the money back. But I shaved it by $1.6 billion for the exact same plane. And you can now take that and multiply that out times thousands of other items.
Multiply it by a
the
zillion,
numbers are astronomical. Yeah. I agree with you.
Well,
of course.
I think it would be great to just have a government efficiency commission that takes a look at these things and just ensures that the taxpayer money, the taxpayers' hard-earned money, is spent in a good way. And I'd be happy to help out on such a commission.
I'd love it
if it were formed.
Well, you're the greatest cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, "You want to quit?" They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike, and you say, "That's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone." So every one of you is gone, and you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it. But if you look at Argentina,
well, I'd be happy to help
by the
out.
way, congratulations. Yeah. I just looked at the number of people that are listening to you and I chat. We'll call it a chat. But congratulations. This is very good. I mean, it's great. And you're an interesting character. The new head of a place called Argentina, and he's a big, he's great. And he's a big MAGA fan, that he ran on MAGA. And he took it to an extreme too. He ran on MAGA, and I hear he's doing really a terrific job. It's called Make Argentina Great Again. It worked out perfectly. He came in, he bought a lot of hats, he brought over, but he's doing a big job. He really cut. And I'm hearing they're starting to do pretty well. Inflation's getting down. You know, they had like 2,000%. They had inflation like not normal inflation. They had the real deal. But we're going to have that pretty soon. We have, I think we have the worst inflation we've had in 100 years. They say it's 48 years. I don't believe it. I think we have the worst. They don't include a lot of the items that should be included. You know.
Donald Trump's own inflation calculator has different numbers than
from
our government.
The government overspending and not spending taxpayer money effectively, and having just like so many departments you can't even name them all. And what Milei is doing is he's cutting government spending. He's simplifying things. He's having putting in regulations that make sense, and Argentina overnight is experiencing a giant improvement in prosperity. But it's also a lesson for the United States, which is that Argentina used to be one of the most prosperous countries in the world. In the 30s, 40s, and because of bad government policy, it ruined the country. And if you take Venezuela, for example, Venezuela should be incredibly prosperous. They have phenomenal reserves of everything, oil, everything, and it should be prosperous. But if the government's wrong, it impoverishes the people. And so I think we should not be complacent in the United States in thinking that and taking our prosperity for granted, because if with bad government policy we can run the country into the ground, and that's just something people should bear in mind. Don't take prosperity for granted.
Well, think of education. So we're ranked.
Well, y'all, I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to hop off for the night. This is a boring interview. I'm going to cut this into a video. I got to go walk my dog. I got to go eat. I got to go chill. It's about 9 p.m. Chicago time. So I want to say thank you guys all for joining me. If you're here, all that I ask is that you like the stream, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. We're going to have a great election. We're going to be going live hopefully every single day, every other day. Sorry, I would stay on later, but I got to do some editing and I got to wrap some stuff up. And there's nothing wild happening. I know right when we hop off, Donald Trump's going to like drop a slur or do something wild. But like right now, I'm going to go edit and go to bed. Thank you guys all. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to the channel and peace out. Have a great night.